Hi everyone, welcome. Thanks for joining me. In this video, I'll be discussing code switching. First, I'll talk about what code switching is, and then I'll distinguish between two types of code switching. And finally, I'll talk about the reasons why speakers might use code switching. Let's get started. First, let's talk about what code switching is not. Code switching does not involve a simple use of borrowing or using a word from another language, as in boo. Man, stop! I could have dropped my croissant. Do you mean croissant? That's what I said. No, you said croissant. It's croissant. Man, you're croissant on the line right now. You need to shut the... So borrowing is not code switching, and neither is switching between registers or stylized ways of speaking. You could think of a register as a loosely structured script that governs how to use language in a specific social context. If you're a native speaker of a language, then you're a native speaker of the great many registers that are used in that language. Ordering a meal at a restaurant, visiting a doctor, chatting with friends, apologizing to dinner guests because your cat is constantly vomiting. These are all examples of registers. And you can recognize a register when somebody uses one in the wrong context, such as, for example, when a teacher tries too hard to build rapport with their students. Good morning, everyone. How are you? Okay, this is not working. What's up, fam? Holla at your boy. All right. Now let me cook. Anyone want a low-key flex about your weekend? Come on, spill the tea. Hey, wait, where are you going? Yeet! The ability to switch between registers is impressive, but it's not really code switching. And it's not as impressive as actual code switching. Code switching involves the use of two or more languages, or language varieties, in a single context. It's best to think of this as a continuum. On one end of the continuum is code switching between two language varieties. And this is where some of the ambiguity in the term code switching arises because a language variety will involve some combination of social and geographic factors that linguists broadly term dialects. For example, in Boots Riley's 2018 film Sorry to Bother You, Lakeith Stanfield's character discovers that by using a white voice in his telemarketing job, he's able to achieve incredible professional success, albeit at the expense of personal relationships. More specifically, the character discovers that when he speaks in standard American English over the phone with customers, he's able to basically get a lot of sales, but when his character is speaking with his coworkers and he's not on the phone talking to customers, he doesn't use standard American English. So this switch in and out of standard American English represents a good example of code switching between two different language varieties. On the other end of the continuum is switching between two or more different languages in a single context. So if you ask a linguist about code switching, this is the type of code switching they'll likely assume that you're talking about, and it's this type of code switching that we will focus on for the rest of this video. In general, there are two types of code switching: intra-sentential code switching and inter-sentential code switching. Intra-sentential code switching is code switching that takes place within the boundaries of a sentence, and inter-sentential code switching is code switching that takes place outside the boundaries of a sentence. For example, I can say, "Vas a ir or what?" which I'm basically translating as, "Are you going or what?" So there's two languages here, Spanish and English, but they're really used both within one sentence. And the use of tag questions is a really common way of using intra-sentential code switching. Now let's take another example, but this time for inter-sentential code switching. Puedo empezar una conversación en español, pero no soy un hispanohablante. As a result, I'd probably have to finish that conversation in English. So notice here, again, we're using two languages, Spanish and English, but we really have one sentence in Spanish and then one sentence in English. This is inter-sentential code switching. So code switching will exist wherever there's multiple languages or multiple dialects in coexistence. But why do people code switch anyway? Well, there's a number of reasons. First of all, it might be for logistical reasons. If you imagine yourself traveling to another country and you're trying to ask for directions in a language that you're not a fluent speaker of, You might get some way, but you might have to fill in with another language that you're more familiar with. This is a very common thing that travelers know very well, code switching for these practical, logistical reasons to just get to your destination. Code switching can be used to build rapport. For example, if you're a student that just transferred to a new school and you're trying to make friends, it makes sense to try to use the language or language variety of the people that you're trying to befriend. Code switching can be used to keep a secret. Now, this doesn't have to be used for nefarious reasons necessarily. It could just be like two bilingual parents who are trying to plan their kid's birthday party. Assuming that the kid doesn't also speak that language, because that would be awkward. Lastly, people unintentionally code switch for emotional reasons all the time. This might be used to express fear, excitement, or anger. Heck, if you're really good at lip reading, you can just watch the Premier League or the Spanish League or any European soccer league where European players might be using English to express their frustration at a referee or behind the referee's back when they don't get a call or something doesn't go their way. Okay, that's all for now. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Muchísimas gracias por mirar y pasen un buen día. Take care.